One of Florida's most interesting residents can be found almost exclusively in one of our most ancient habitats. Archibald Biological Station is home to some of the last unspoiled Florida scrubland in the state. To really understand this habitat, let's start with the topography. The Lake Wales Ridge is a dividing line between the Kissimmee River watershed to the east and the Fish-Eating Creek watershed to the west. 200,000 years ago, when ocean levels were much higher, this elevated land was actually a chain of islands. So the Florida scrub habitat is characterized by this very powdery sand. This is actually ancient coastal dune sand, and the substrate really determines what kinds of plants can grow here. You'll notice that there's no tall canopy, it's mostly small shrubs, and the sand itself provides really good drainage, which means that this habitat is usually very hot and usually very dry, almost desert-like. There are actually a couple dozen species of plants and animals that can only be found in the Florida scrub habitat. Included in that list is the Florida scrub jay, Florida's state bird. No, actually, that's a lie. Our state bird is the mockingbird, which is also the state bird for Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Not very original. The Florida scrub jay is, however, a true native, one of Florida's only endemic birds. Jays are super intelligent and live in complex family units within clearly defined territories.
So this map represents our study tract at Archbold, and each sticker represents a scrub jay family. And each family unit consists of a breeding pair and either 0 to 5 helpers. So on average, a family group has 3 helpers. And that's an interesting system because it's a cooperative breeding system, which is unusual in the bird community.
Only a subset of cooperative breeders do have helpers that help, which means that the number of helpers that a group has actually has a positive impact on the number of nestlings the pair produces.
Juveniles stay with their parents for several years after fledging. They're not just mooching, however. They're put right to work, helping to feed and train their younger siblings, and keeping watch for predators. Newly fledged jays exhibit begging behavior to entice mom, dad, brother, or sister to give them a snack. Researchers at Archbold Biological Station have been studying the Florida scrub jay for over 5 decades, giving this species the distinction of being one of the longest studied birds in the world. They can be curious and comfortable around humans, making behavioral observations easy.
Scrub jays are just great learners. If they do a behavior and they get positively rewarded, they'll do it again. And just like you train a dog, you can train a scrub jay, or actually probably faster than a dog because they're probably smarter than dogs. Cats are also good learners, so they will know a place where birds will often come and be busy feeding. Often birds are fed in people's backyards or at feeders, and they often fall prey to cats. As many as 1 billion with a B birds are killed by feral or outdoor cats every year.
That's right. Our beloved domesticated cat is a prolific bird predator. But the main threat to the scrub jay is habitat loss. More than any other habitat in Florida, the scrub has just the right requirements for scrub jays to flourish. The problem is, the scrub is characteristically high and dry land, which is valuable real estate. Today, most of our historic scrublands have been developed. Much has also been lost to succession. Succession is the process of change from one type of habitat to another. For the scrub, there is one factor that can prevent this from happening: fire. Plants native to this habitat have adapted to fire. Without regular burns, other less fire-adapted plants will take over. Until recently, humans have assumed that all wildfires are bad, leading to a long history of fire suppression. Today, ecologists at Archbold perform prescribed burns to keep the scrub healthy. For the Florida scrub jay, and all the other fascinating species that live here, Protecting Florida's scrub habitats from development and managing them correctly is absolutely critical.